be creating a new loan setup that's going to highlight some of LoanAssistant functionality. In order to create a new loan, we need to select New Loan, and we will be presented with the new loan setup screen. We can see that LoanAssistant supports several types of loan. They could either be self-amortized or balloon loans, or balloon with the interest only. An appropriate type has to be selected. Every loan needs to be associated with the borrower. Therefore, a borrower either needs to be selected from the existing borrowers or could be created as a new client. In order to create a new one, Add Borrower button needs to be selected. QuickBooks export is allowed, as well as the Outlook contacts also can be imported from the Outlook files, or we can type in the customer name and the customer contact information and save the changes. Please note that multiple borrowers can be associated with the same loan. In this screen, you can actually see that the borrower John Smith has been associated with this loan. If you were to have more customers, we could have added more borrowers to the list. The next very important screen is the penalties processing screen. In this screen, we can actually define the processing of the late and other penalties to the loan. They could either be separate charge or add to principal. We also have a late penalty fee. There are three types of late penalty fees. It could be either fixed interest, fixed amount, or greater of fixed amount or the interest, and that could also be defined on the screen. There's also a choice to add a prepayment penalty. There are two types of prepayment penalty. It's either daily or a fixed percentage, fixed based on the prepaid amount. There's also a choice to add an insufficient fund penalty. Insufficient fund penalty could also be waived. The setting tab is very important. The actual loan setup is defined on the screen. The loan effective date needs to be set. Loan frequency. Out of the four choices, we need to select one. LoanAssistant currently supports weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually interest frequencies. You can see LoanAssistant calculates the first payment. However, we also have a choice to define the maturity by the number of the payments, or we can define the maturity manually if we select the maturity button. We need to define a loan interest, which is a percent. LoanAssistant also handles variable rate. Then there's a choice how to compute the interest. Is the interest going to be computed as of the due date or the payment date? Please select the appropriate choice. The next step is to select the rate basis. LoanAssistant supports 4 different rate bases that you can see on the screen. There is also a choice of short interest collection. If we need to do that, a select button needs to be selected, and we have two choices, either the first payment on the loan day. Loan amount. This is the actual loan amount that needs to be defined. As you can see, LoanAssistant calculates the payment amount based on the attributes that were entered on the screen. It is also very important to note that LoanAssistant has a loan calculator where these details can be viewed, and amortization schedule associated with this loan. In the screen, we can also modify some of the attributes. As you can see, we just changed the payment, and if we click compute, LoanAssistant will recalculate the schedule and produce new result. If we are happy with the result, we can select apply settings, and the settings will actually flow down to the settings screen of a loan. LoanAssistant also allows to handle escrow deposit collections, and this is done through the escrow screen. The next very important screen is the funding screen. This is how the funding is going to be done. We have a choice of either check or a transfer. If a check is selected, then the actual check is going to be created in the QuickBooks. If a transfer choice is selected, we can actually define the account how the loan is going to be funded. We can actually select multiple accounts for that purpose. There's also a way to charge points and origination fees, and we can define that amount as well. A bank account needs to be selected if the check option is selected. We can see in the QuickBooks how the check is being generated. LoanAssistant allows to save a loan setup as a template that could be reused for other loans. This allows for the efficient and error-proof setup of new loans that are going to be added to the LoanAssistant. In order to save this new setting, we need to click Save, and the loan is going to be saved and the proper GL account will be hid in the QuickBooks. You can see a new loan in the list of loans in the home screen of a LoanAssistant, and you can actually see the transaction, the initial transaction, onto the loan transactions screen. You can see the accounts that were affected by the new funding of a loan. And the check that was generated to fund the borrower. LoanAssistant also allows for legal documents to be stored and associated with the specific loans, and this can be done in the Documents screen. LoanAssistant is also supports collateral module, which allows for the collateral items to be added to the list and also for the LTV valuation.